It seems like almost everybody has had this happen. You're removing something from your wall and all of a sudden the drywall tears. And now you panic. So now what do? Today I'm going to show you how to fix this the right way. Because there are wrong ways to do it, and it'll turn out to be a disaster if you don't do it correctly. So we're going to fix this simply and easily, even if you've never done drywall before. So let's get started. So whether you're patching holes or scraping off old wallpaper, or maybe removing trim off your wall, torn drywall paper is something you'll run into. If you've just thrown some mud over it and you call it a day, that brown paper is going to swell, peel, bubble up, and soak up paint like a sponge, and you'll be right back there doing it all over again. We're going to do 4 different samples, and 2 of the samples are what a lot of people do, and I'm going to show you why it's the wrong way. And the other 2 ways just depends on what you have around the house. Both of them are correct. Both of them work great. So you can choose which of those 2 ways that you like. So the first thing you want to do, you want to make sure the area is clean and smooth. Make sure there's no loose paper sticking up. There's no frayed or anything lifting. And you can use a utility knife to cut around to get those loose pieces that are sticking up. Make sure it's a brand new blade. Cut around there and then go ahead and pull off that loose part. So the first way a lot of people will do, they'll just go ahead and paint over it, thinking that, well, if I put the paint on thick enough, it'll cover up and you'll never notice it. But believe me, you're always going to notice it, especially if you ever go to sell the house or if it's somebody else's house, if you're renting it. First thing they walk in, they're going to see that damage there. So the second way is where the person who steps up a little bit more than the first one, who painted, and they go ahead and decide to put some drywall mud on it or some spackling, and they take it and they rub it on there and try to smooth it out without putting anything on the paper. And then after they put that on there, they wait, they sand it a little bit, and then paint it. And we're going to show you what happens after this drywall mud and then the paint on top of that, what happens to it, and the reason that it's going to be a disaster. The next sample that we're going to do is one that I use a lot, and I've never had a problem with it. I've never had it fail on me, and that's using a shellac or a stain blocker. And I use an oil base. The only problem with this, if you're very sensitive to smells, or if you're in somebody's house maybe doing this, trying to help somebody out, or in your own house, it can be really strong. I wouldn't do this in a real tight enclosed area without some good ventilation, because it could really bother your breathing. Always wear protective gear, your eyeglasses, a dust mask, and even gloves. And the 4th method we're going to use is with glue, just regular carpenter's glue. We're going to go ahead and put that on the brown part of the paper, spread it around, and that's going to be our sealer. I like it because it dries fast. I've never had to fail, and being a carpenter, I've always got glue with me. So I don't have to worry about in case the spray can is empty or I didn't bring my spray can. The glue I always have with me. So on this first sample, let's go ahead and just put paint on it. Let's put the paint with a thick roller, the same type of roller we use to paint the wall. And let's go ahead and just let it dry and see how it comes out. Now this is what I prefer to use. For my first coat, I prefer quick drying mud, also known as hot mud. It comes in a 5-minute, 20-minute, 45, and a 90-minute. I prefer the 20-minute because it gives me enough time to work it, but it doesn't take so long to set up. So let me show you how I like to mix this up. I like using just an old egg beater and put it in the drill because it works a lot better and it gets it mixed up and it's not so lumpy. So let me show you how I like doing it. So the way you mix it, you always put your water in first. You don't need a lot of water because we're not going to be mixing up a whole lot. And then I just take my regular taping knife, get a little bit out of here, and just put it inside of here and mix it up. I'm going to take my drill, start at a low speed. Then when I'm done mixing it, I just take a little bucket of water, put this inside of it, clean it off a little bit, and you're all done. It's nice and clean. Okay, so then we're just going to take our mud. You don't want to press so hard that you pull it right out and you start to see the edges. So just put it on. Go over the top, and I like to feather the edges, and what that means is you kind of press down on one side and we'll just feather the edge. Okay, that's good enough for our first coat. Let's go ahead and get this next one. We're going to go ahead and let it dry. Come back. It should take about half an hour. We'll give it about 45 minutes. I want to make sure it's dry. Then we'll come back and put our next coat on. We've put our quickset mud on there, and we've put our light coat of the joint compound. Then, after it dries, we're going to do the light sanding of it, but just do it real smooth and stand by the side of it and hold the light on it. And you'll be able to tell from the light if there's any areas that you either need more sanding or maybe sanded a little bit too much. You can always sand more, but you hate to have to put more drywall mud because you over sanded. Now that we have all that done, it's already dried, everything's been sanded. Now comes a moment of truth. Let's go ahead and let's put our paint on there. Okay, so I've got the same paint that we started with. It was originally painted with. The same type of a roller. And let's go ahead. Before you ever paint drywall like this that you've repaired, make sure you always get the dust off there, because the dust and paint does not mix good. So I've already dusted this all free. So I apply my paint, and then when most of it is off the roller, I go real lightly with the roller on the areas that we haven't repaired, just to blend it in. Here's a little tip also. If you're going to have to come back and put another coat on your wall, or a second coat, take your roller so it doesn't dry out and just grab one of these garbage sacks from the grocery store, put it in here, put it tight, roll it up, and it'll last you for at least a day without drying out. Now let's compare all four of these and look at the difference. The one with just the paint, that's a total fail. When you see that, you know that somebody didn't know what they were doing. And now it's even worse to work on. And when you see the next one that wasn't sealed, you can see where the bubbling. This one isn't as bad as a lot of them I've seen, but it can get really bad, especially the next day after it dries. Now look at the one with the glue and also with the shellac, the oil-based primer. Every time it gives the best results for a professional finish. Now if you've enjoyed this video and it's helped you, or you think it would have helped somebody else, give me a thumbs up and maybe share it with somebody who might be doing some drywall. The one thing about doing drywall, if you don't do it all the time, it does take some practice, but it's not that difficult. Just work at it slow, take it easy, and less is always better. Also, drop a comment down below. Tell me what your favorite method is, or if you've had problem repairing drywall. And I'll put a link down below in the description to all the tools and all the products that I've used here. So in case you can't find them at your local hardware store or your local box store, you can always just order them online and get them sent directly to your house. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. It helps the channel out, and that way you can see the rest of my videos, and I upload new videos all the time, and it might be just the video you need for the project that you're working on. So thanks for watching, take care, and God bless.